Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。之前那本《人性的因素》已经读完了，今天开始，给大家读这本我朋友写的一本悬疑小说，叫《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》，是英文小说。好，我们先开始吧。What did Otis want? He asked. He was asking after Lydia. I don't know if it was my questioning or you showing up that scared him off. Odd. By the way, I spoke to Cynthia. Also odd. I'll tell you about it over dinner. In Lydia's kitchen. I set the table. I had resist the temptation to bring. Resisted. I had resisted the temptation to bring a bottle of wine from my home, as that felt a little too date-like. But I did pick out wine glasses. I did pick out wine glasses for our ice waters. As Daryl unpacked the steaks, baked the potatoes, mixed veggies, and a blooming onion from the packaging, I thought about how little first responders typically got paid. Steak dinners weren't an everyday thing. This looks, I thought about how This looks blooming delicious, I said. Dig in, mate, he smiled. Turns out we were both famished, and for a while we didn't speak as we stuffed our mouths. You must be exhausted, I said after a while, and your poor mom. Life rarely goes as planned, he said. We'll see tomorrow if there's any damage to her brain. One thing's for sure, she's going to have to stop smoking. That's not going to be easy on her. It's not going to be easy on us. Get ready. My dad had to quit smoking after his cancer diagnosis. And my mom quit for a while too, for solidarity. It was like living with a couple of cats in a sack. He shook his head and took a bite of steak. I remember your dad, gruff guy, but a good man. Thanks, he said. I miss him. He cleared his throat and drank some water. So you were able to talk with Cynthia? I let myself in, but she threw me out, judging by the whiskey bottle. She'd pretty much tied one on all afternoon. Doesn't sound like Dr. Roberts. She she always seemed super straight-laced, straight-laced to me. It's strange. She didn't seem to hear me when your mom collapsed and I asked her to call 911. She sort of looked through me. She must really be mourning the loss of her friend. Mourning, mourning the sorrow. Mourning. Must be mourning the loss of her friend and her former professor. What do you mean? Darrell turned to a page in his trusty notebook. Cynthia was a graduate student at NC State at the same time that Wanda was a professor there. In fact, Wanda was on her graduate committee, which I guess means that she was sort of an advisor to Cynthia. I've had a number of friends in grad school, I said. Wanda probably advised Cynthia on her thesis if she was a master's student, or her dissertation if she was a PhD student. That makes sense. That makes sense. Cynthia was finishing up her PhD about the time that Wanda left to teach at Wake Tech. He closed his notebook. All that came from a random database. Seems odd that one would leave a large university like State to teach at a community college, don't you think? Unless you decide you like teaching a lot more than research. But unless you decide you like teaching a lot more than research. But it is worth checking out. Any other revelations you feel comfortable sharing? Have you found your dragon of interest yet? Not yet, honestly. I'm beginning to think this crime was pulled off by a specter. What about the autopsy? What about the autopsy? I asked. She died the way we thought. A single stab wound to the back and through the heart. The coroner found one thing interesting. Connor. The coroner found one thing interesting: irritation to her nose and eyes and throats. Not burns, but close to it. I remembered the swim cap, I asked. Could burns be caused by hot water or steam in the shower? If so, it was quite a while before she was killed. Because the home's 2 showers weren't the least bit wet or damp. I checked. Weren't the least bit or damp. Maybe hot water from a sink? That's more likely. My roommate in college used to make steam in the dorm bathroom sink as an acne remedy. Either way, it doesn't seem particularly relevant. Maybe toxicology will show us something, but that usually takes weeks. Daryl appeared distracted. What's bothering you? I asked. What's bothering you? I asked. Otis didn't have much to say when I phoned him earlier. He insisted he came by because Mom wanted him to take a look at her freezer's ice maker. But that thing's been broken for years. Like Eleanor's, now that I think about it. Did Mom say anything to you? No, Anna, I didn't ask her in time, sorry. 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。